Wow. Trial day 2. What Cosmos actually saw. Okay, I guess that's where we're going to pick this up. Fair enough. Let's continue, shall we? We're not done here. Fuck that shit. But it is starting to lead to maybe he's going to probably explain something and it's going to change our suspect entirely. But right now, it's leading us to think that he did it. So let's see if he can refute that. Here we go.
Director Cosmos, a new possibility has been presented by the defense. They are claiming that you were this third person.
Ah! Forgive me. I'm so sorry.
So the great pioneer of space development is revealed to be just another fabulous cur. I only have one question for the likes of you. Shall I send you off quickly or very quickly?
Ah!
The evidence doesn't lie, Director Cosmos, so don't try to talk your way out of this.
Fine, I'll tell the truth. It's all just as you say, Mr. Wright. It's true that I was there in the boarding lounge. I got there before Detective Arm, and when she arrived, she fired warning shots at me. I was afraid people would mistake me for the killer, so I escaped to the control room. I then went past the elevators and all the way around to boarding lounge 1 again. I came up behind Detective Arm and pretended to be the second on the scene.
Interesting. What a troublesome old man you are, with such convoluted deeds and thoughts.
I see, so then, are you still insisting that you did not kill the victim?
Of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, I saw the true killer. The great Yuri Cosmos was a history-making witness.
Hold it! Now hold on just one moment. We just proved a few minutes ago that the third person that Mr. Starbuck and Ms. Aura Blackwell saw was you.
No, it wasn't me. I saw the person as well. If I were the killer, why would I lie to cover for Starbuck? I would just leave him to take the fall.
That is an excellent point.
All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. I said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for a third person.
Well, it makes some sense if he told those lies to cover for Mr. Starbuck. Still, a lie's a lie, Athena. So Director Cosmos claims he's not the culprit, but where's the proof?
Ah, I just remembered. I have an alibi. Ms. Blackwell said she saw the killer at 10 a.m., correct?
Yes, and?
Well, I was on the 4th floor helping with the evacuation effort. Ask any member of the staff you'd like. They'll corroborate for me.
The director is not fibbing to the court for once. I confirm that he has an alibi for the time specified. So, you're claiming that that Ms. Blackwell saw the killer commit the crime first at 10 a.m. and that you arrived at the lounge after that?
Yes, and I believe the person I saw is the same person that Ms. Blackwell saw. Although it was pitch black, so it was more of a shadowy figure and less of a person. And I couldn't actually see their face, but it was definitely the silhouette of an earthling.
Oh my god. As long as he has an alibi, we can't very well claim Director Cosmos was the killer. No, we can't. Then again, maybe we don't need to yet. I wonder if he really was really covering for Mr. Starbuck. Your Honor, the defense moves to have the director testify about the person he saw.
Very well. Director Cosmos, your testimony, please.
I don't know if we have enough information to really convict somebody else right now. Like, who the hell else are we going to call in? The only other person who said they saw anything was the sister. So unless she did this, which, you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that she did this. Unless she did this, we don't have any other people to blame. Unless we're going to really go off on the tangent that it could be the fucking robot. But do we really believe the robot did it? I swear to God if the robot did it. Holy shit, that would change. That would just be like the most ridiculous shit. That'd be the most Ace Attorney shit ever. Alright, what'd you really witness, sir?
As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me. I hid to avoid getting shot. But when I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. I was near the elevator side door and, well, the launch pad 1 door. And the control room door should have been shut tight to the killer.
So where did they go? So you were shot at by the killer as well, and then they disappeared?
Yes, though luckily no harm came to my glorious body. Unfortunately, the bullet hit Taryn's oxygen tank. I know because I heard a pang. That must have been the sound of the tank being ruptured.
Wait, I thought the bullet hit his metal. That was Detective Arm's bullet, remember? Right. What a mess this is turning into. So let's see. Director Cosmos is claiming that when he found Mr. Taryn and his killer, the culprit shot a 10 caliber bullet at him. Right, but it actually hit Mr. Taryn's oxygen tank and ruptured it. And then the killer disappeared and the director went into the boarding lounge. When Detective Arm caught up and fired those warning shots at him, judging by his metal, it looks like one of them almost took him out too. But good summary. But that doesn't explain where our mystery killer went. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on too. Director Cosmos, I was wondering if you could elaborate on when the figure disappeared.
I'm ashamed to admit I tried to hide myself when I was shot at, but when I peeked back into the lounge, the real killer was gone. I rushed into the lounge straight away to investigate, but what I found was Taryn, with a knife in his chest, and Starbuck, out cold on the floor.
Okay.
So we have a culprit who vanished from the scene that had no escape route.
Vanished without a trace. It's truly like one of the great mysteries of the cosmos.
Silence.
So why no explosion? What explosion are you talking about, Omega? Because this is all after the explosion, I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
A riddle of the ages, indeed. But I'd rather know how a fibbing leech such as you can be lauded as a great.
A great man is always misunderstood in his own time, but he must remain true to himself, even if those around him don't understand.
Wow, that might be the first true statement he said all day. But how do you suppose this person managed to vanish so suddenly?
Simple, because it was Spaceboy himself. When he was spotted by the director in Aura, he quickly feigned unconsciousness. That would certainly take all the mystery out of the idea of a vanishing culprit.
I want to raise an objection, but I don't have any counter evidence. So why no explosion? If a bullet ruptured a tank, wouldn't there be a fire or explosion? Not necessarily, Omega. It depends. When a bullet hits a tank, it doesn't mean it's going to explode immediately. There has to be a spark to light the explosion, right? It also has to be a flammable gas. Is oxygen by itself flammable? I'm not 100% sure. Like if oxygen were spewing out of something, would it light on fire if you just lit a flame? I don't think it would, right? I don't think oxygen would just light on fire if you just, like sparked a match or a lighter in this case. It would have lit up a fire. Obviously, an oxygen tank isn't going to let out enough oxygen to light up a room to blow it up. Not really. I'm thinking, no. Oxygen tanks wouldn't explode like that. So, no. The answer to your question, Omega, is no. If it was a different kind of gas, maybe. But oxygen tank, I don't think would. Director Cosmos, when you saw this person, did you also see Mr. Starbuck on the floor?
No, because it was as dark as a black hole in there. I didn't see Starbuck until the other person vanished and I entered the room.
That wasn't exactly helpful.
I'm prepared to accept your surrender, right, Dono?
I can't find any holes in this testimony, but I can't give up. Mr. Wright, why don't you let me help? Huh? While the director was giving his testimony, I detected a cacophony of discord. Cacophony. Which means he's hiding his true feelings from us, huh? This just might help us find out what happened to our vanished killer. That'd be great, Athena. Let's see what you could do with him. You got it, boss. I wouldn't want to miss this chance to delve into a great mind. Yuri Cosmos, prepare to hand over the secrets of your heart to me. Oh boy. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to go through this guy's thing. So, I already kind of have an idea of why this could be, like, not him still. So, right, if his story is true now, right, if he's telling us the truth now, let's assume that he is, this third person would have had to have been able to get through one of these doors. Which door is irrelevant, but one of these doors. Now, the control room door, only the director can go in there. But the other door, that door can be accessed by more than one person. But the thing is, there's no fingerprints other than the one from our guy, from our Starbuck guy. Maybe they took his unconscious body and had his hand be the one. They put his hand on the thing to open it for them. That's possible. That's possible. We'll just wait and see, but that's possible. Anyway,
As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me.
he was scared and surprised and mad. Okay.
I hid to avoid getting shot,
Okay.
but when I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. I was near the elevator side door, and well, the Launchpad 1 door, and the control room door should have been shut tight to the killer.
Okay. Why was he worried about this one? This feels sus right here, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be afraid of the Launchpad door.
The great Yuri Cosmos afraid? And what basis do you have for that outlandish accusation?
Whether I have any basis or not, you seem quite distressed by it.
I'm most certainly not.
Director Cosmos, there's something about the Launchpad door you're not telling us, isn't there?
Gah!
Wow, he's speechless. It looks like you hit the nail on the head, boss.
Nah.
It's working, boss. One more punch and it'll be a knockout. There seems to be one more emotion that's at odds with his testimony. Go get him. Okay, back in the Matrix it is. Time to pinpoint our way to victory. Hell yeah, brother. Tried to enter the lounge. Fired a gun. Avoid getting shot. Want to try to get in the thin air. Get the door. So the sadness at that door is 1. So the killer fired a gun at me, so he was afraid, surprised, and mad. Then he hid. So why was he mad that he had to hide? Is that the emotion we gotta pinpoint? Why are you mad, bro? Why are you mad, bro? When you view your emotions on such no. Wait a minute. There really isn't anything strange here. I don't know, but I think maybe we made a mistake. Okay. I think maybe you're right. Let's take another look. Okay, there must be an unexpected emotion here somewhere. Maybe the fact that his emotions were all gone in this moment? This one, maybe? The fact that he had no emotions here is kind of weird, right? Or not, maybe? Because there's only this emotion here. This one, these other two don't have... There's 3 of them that don't have any emotions at all, so... Like, I had to avoid getting shot. Isn't that bottom right one surprise? Isn't that what that's supposed to be? I mean, I might just pinpoint that one and see. It's not that one either. Okay. I mean, I can't imagine it's anything about being mad when he got shot at. Nah. It's got to be one of the ones where he doesn't have any emotion at all, right? It's got to be. This one. So why weren't you still scared, I guess, is what I'm asking. What happened to your emotions? No? Like, I'm confused why his emotions went away. Oh. Well, there you go. There. We just had to pick the right one. Why did your emotions go away? I thought that was weird, but I forgot you had to, like, pick an emotion. Anyway, you must have thought it was very strange that the killer vanished into thin air.
I did. That kind of thing just doesn't happen usually.
And yet, at that time, you barely registered any shock at the occurrence. Okay, so yeah, when the person wasn't there anymore, he wasn't surprised. That makes sense.
What? Why are you...
I can only think of one reason as to why you weren't surprised by the killer's vanishing act. You must have had a good idea of where they went. Isn't that right?
What? No, of course not. That's preposterous. Only I can enter the control room. And the area beyond the launch pad door was filled with smoke, making it impassable. And as for the southern door, I was standing right there. So there was nowhere for the killer to run to.
Maybe, or maybe not. You went into the room to check on Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Terran, yes? What if the culprit took that opportunity to silently slip out through the southern door?
I highly doubt it, as you recall, right after I entered the lounge. Detective Arm came rushing towards it herself via the southern hallway. Anyone trying to escape through there would have been caught by her.
And yet the director wasn't surprised the killer vanished. So you're absolutely sure there was no escape route for the culprit to use?
Nah.
I'll just input those 2 pieces of data, and yes! Just what I wanted to see. Not quite done with you yet, bitch. Presto changeo, less discord. It looks like we're on the right track. Thanks, Athena. Now to make sense of what we've learned. Director Cosmo wasn't surprised that the culprit suddenly vanished from the lounge, which points to the possibility that he knew where the killer had escaped to. Furthermore, talking about the door to the launch pad made him uneasy. Talking about the door. In other words, he's probably hiding something about the launch pad 1 door. When we put these 2 pieces together, only one solution to this puzzle comes to mind. Director Cosmos, did the real killer escape through here? Through here. It's the only way.
Take that!
The culprit went through the Launchpad 1 door to escape, didn't they?
Yes. I mean, no! Disaster to starboard! We're going to crash into an asteroid!
A master tactician, you are not. But the area beyond that door was filled with smoke, wasn't it? So fucking what? True, but this is still the only logical answer there is. If we could just figure out what the director is hiding about Launchpad 1 door, we should be able to iron out the logical inconsistencies.
But that door requires fingerprint recognition. Only Starbuck, Terran, and I have access. I don't see how the killer could have opened that security lock, do you?
That's an easy one. The killer was right there in the boarding lounge, meaning there's a way he could have easily gotten past that security lock. Come to think of it, we did examine the prints on the fingerprint recognition device. I propose that the killer used this person's fingerprints to get past the security lock. Well, duh. We don't even have to propose it. It's the only person we have fingerprints for.
Take that!
That's...
Mr. Starbuck was lying unconscious there on in the boarding lounge. Anybody could have easily gotten past the security lock by using Mr. Starbuck's prints. And actually, Mr. Starbuck's prints are exactly what we found on the device's screen.
Ah!
Looks like he does have something to hide about the Launchpad 1 door. And I'm betting it's got something to do with the culprit's escape route. But I don't have enough information to see the whole picture yet.
You know, something just occurred to me. Would you like to hear it?
Huh? Oh yes, by all means.
There's a security camera in boarding lounge 1, right? The one that recorded the victim and the defendant. What about it, Your Honor?
Or sorry, right, the one that recorded the victim and the defendant. What about it, Your Honor?
If the true culprit escaped into the launch pad 1 corridor, then that might be recorded on the security footage as well. Then the mystery would be solved. What do you think of my logic?
Oh, if only this was possible, sir. We already had this thought. You don't think we would have already tried to do this, man? I like how everyone's like, you for real right now? You think we didn't already try this?
I hope you didn't strain your faculties too much for that, your baldness.
I beg your pardon.
Look, if we play the security footage beyond this point.
Oh my, the footage cuts off.
The camera was running on backup power, but apparently the power cables were damaged. Most likely by the after effects of the explosion. There's no footage after this, be it of criminals or space aliens.
And I thought it was such a good idea too.
Just because your grandchild is watching from the gallery, it doesn't mean you should try to show off too much, Grandpa Baldness.
Prosecutor Blackwell, how did you know that about my grandchild?
I think his grandchild just learned a little about the harshness of the adult world. Damn, get wrecked, boy. Setting aside the issue of grandchildren, I'd like to have the witness continue. Director Cosmos, could you tell us more about when you entered the lounge? If I must.
Yeah, you must.
Alright. Hid to avoid getting shot. Got it. After the killer vanished, I went into the lounge. Okay. Info update. But that's when Detective Arm appeared from the elevator side door. And then the detective shot at me. So you see, the killer could have only escaped to the launch pad, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, scared, surprised, angry. Also, I just got a new YouTube sub. Let's go Fatal Waffle. Hell yeah. Anyway, so to start this off, he was scared when he was avoided getting shot. He was scared when he went into the lounge. He was surprised when Arm showed up. And then he was way too many things when she shot at him. Was he was scared, surprised, and afraid? Is afraid the wrong, or not afraid, but mad? Why are you mad? Okay, same thing. What's the weird emotion here? The fact that one of his emotions disappeared on me again, probably? Killer could have only escaped through there. So, like, no emotion on that line is not surprising. Wait, why was he not scared anymore? I guess maybe here? He's not scared anymore? No. Huh. Okay, what about, why aren't you mad here? No. Okay. Then why are you surprised here? I'm just going to try all these ones. I don't know which one you want me to go for here. Okay, so why he's surprised here? Director Cosmos, why were you so surprised when Detective Arm found you, and again when she fired? Isn't that a bit unnatural? What is unnatural about this? I'm confused why that's unnatural. Why wouldn't he be surprised?
Sadly, even great men such as myself have ordinary human feelings. Our bodies are bound by the forces of gravity and emotions. Even a great man such as myself experiences surprise on occasion.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But my real point is not the fact that you were surprised, but rather, what were you surprised by?
Pardon me?
First, you were surprised when Detective Arm found you in the lounge. And just after that, you were, of course, again surprised when she shot at you. Uh-huh. But considering what you were surprised about, a strange phenomenon occurs here. Director Cosmos, what is strange about your surprised reaction is the fact that you were... surprised twice? Not surprised by something else, or more surprised than more surprised. More surprised that you weren't surprised by something else? I don't fucking know. Yeah, let's go with that one. Wasn't there something you should have been more surprised by?
Huh. A brave man such as myself is not so easily surprised. But being shot at, now that would surprise anybody.
Well, when you put it that way... I guess I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Okay. What is it strange about the surprise? Okay, well, let's just say you were more surprised. Sure, you were surprised when Detective Arm shot at you. But the surprise you felt when she found you in the lounge was much greater. Okay, so the little blinking thing must have been bigger. Okay.
Gah!
The fact that you were more surprised by simply being found than being shot at suggests to me that you were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there.
The enemy has acquired a new weapon. Commence Operation Hide Under Your Desk. Ah!
Please tell me I finally sunk his battleship. Alright, one more round of this, I guess. Okay. Boss, I'm getting less Discord now. That must mean... he really is hiding something about that launch pad door. Whatever he's hiding most likely has something to do with the killer's escape. I wonder what it could be. If he was doing something suspicious around that door, maybe we can spot some change between before he came to the room and after. Some change between before he came into the room and after. Okay. Detective Fulbright gave us a photo taken after the crime. Let's run a comparison. Let's see. This footage of the door before Director... It's that little lock switch thing. The lock switch thing. 100% that lock switch thing. It's turned sideways, but it was turned up and down by default normally, right? Anyway, let's see. This is the footage of the door before Director Cosmos arrived. And this is how the door looked after the director entered the lounge. Hey, look at that. There is a change. Something's definitely different. Director Cosmos.
What is it? What have you two been up to over there?
Finding the answer to what you were doing when Detective Arm found you, that's what. And that answer lies clearly in this footage. All we have to do is compare it to the photo that was taken during the investigation.
Don't be ridiculous. If you really do have an answer, you would have pointed it out already.
He's asking for it. This is what changed directly after the incident. This over here is different right here. The answer is this knob.
No, that's...
Your Honor, please take a look at this footage.
Let's see.
Take a look at the knob next to the launch pad door. As you can see, it's horizontal.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
However, when we investigated the scene of the crime yesterday, the knob was vertical.
And what does that mean?
It means that sometime between before the director arrived and after, someone turned this knob.
Ah!
After the scene was discovered, you were the only one who could have turned the knob. Come on now, Director Cosmos. Let's hear what you have to say. What were you trying to do by turning that knob by the door?
Nah! Fine, I admit it. You're right, I did turn that knob. That knob is a safety lock meant to keep the launch pad in place. I was afraid there would be more explosions. So I wanted to move the launch pad away.
You wanted to do what? Hey, didn't Ponko tell us something about how they prepare for launch? She said that once the launch pad's fully assembled, it's moved to the launch site. Okay. That actually makes more sense. But the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to be disengaged first. I guess that clears up what the knob was used for, what that knob is for. Oh, so if the killer escaped into the launch pad 1 corridor, maybe they were transported along with the launch pad to the missile site. I don't think so. The launch pad 1 corridor was filled with smoke. I don't think they could have escaped through that corridor. So then, where did the killer escape to? I guess there are still some things we have to uncover. Director Cosmos, I request that you tell us about that moving the launch pad in more detail.
Fine. But listen carefully, for I'm about to give history-making testimony.
Oh boy. One last part here, huh? Alright.
I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. I feared there might be more explosions, so I had to cut the launch pad loose. Surely the only escape the killer had was through the launch pad 1. But that area was a sea of smoke. Confound it, where on earth could they have gone?
Okay. Let's see. He was sad that he had to cut it loose. Wait, why was he happy? There you go. Why are you happy here, bro? Why are you happy about the lock? I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock? You make it sound like you were reluctant to do so. And yet, when you did it, you felt some joy. As if you were very pleased with yourself.
Ah! How did you do it? How do you know everything as if you were there? If you were there?
Pretty impressive, isn't it? This is the power of analytical psychology, bitch. So, care to explain why you felt joy when you disengaged the safety lock? When I think back on the facts we've discovered up to this point, I have to believe that you were trying to fulfill some hidden agenda.
Ah! How do you know about that, too?
Because I'm more or less a pro at guessing.
But you have no proof that I had a hidden agenda. And even if I did, I would never ever tell you, so there!
I know they say people regress as they grow older, but you, sir, take the cake.
And how could you doubt a man with such great intensity, intelligence, and integrity? The 3 eyes!
Silence!
Alright, Kurt Angle.
You, a man of integrity? Don't make me laugh.
Prosecutor Blackwell? What came over him all of a sudden?
You've spouted nothing but falsity since you stepped up onto the stand. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Not for greatness, anyway. Unless you consider greatest barefaced liar an honor.
Liar!
His words bite harder than his blade.
You moved Launchpad 1 after the explosions? My, how naive you are. You fail to realize how even the facts themselves have betrayed you.
You know, just a thought, but modern English can be your friend.
And here's a thought for you. Immediately following the bombing, Launchpad 1 was on the boarding lounge 1 side. The police confirmed this on the scene.
What?
Liar!
So that means the director didn't move the launch pad?
Curse my judgment for calling history's greatest liar to the witness stand. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games to his heart's content.
Liar!
But it doesn't make sense. You can't deny that someone turned that knob. And once the safety lock was released, I'm sure the pad must have went somewhere. If we chase down the truth of this issue, we just might find where the killer escaped to. Ah!
You're sure it must have went somewhere? We just might find out. Your arguments are nothing but conjecture, bluffing, and wishful thinking. Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is. Or are you not man enough too, boy?
Go! Talk about hitting below the belt. Youngins these days. I don't understand it. I'm sure Director Cosmos must have moved the launch pad. The knob was definitely turned after he came to the lounge. But the launch pad is right where it's supposed to be. Ah! Wait a minute. Maybe I have it all backwards. What if the director turned the knob and not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back to where it was supposed to be?
What are you blathering about?
What if the launch pad was at the launch site before the incident? And then after the incident, Director Cosmos moved it back to its usual spot. All he had to do was turn the knob to call the launch pad back. And it would be right where the police found it. Gah!
Ha!
Oh, he did the big sigh. The ha! You made him sigh like Mr. Starbuck. Was what I said really that off base?
It pains me to have to explain how wrong your own logic is to you. However, our great liar turned the knob only after he discovered the crime scene. Indeed, the pad existed beyond the lounge when our Astro Wonders made their escape. A fact that has been recorded for posterity on filmless film.
Oh, right.
So to reiterate, stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is, boy.
Ah! Get a grip, Mr. Wright, and focus. We know the launch pad must have been moved, but our deductions and the actual facts of the case are in direct contradiction to each other. Well, maybe the two astronauts never actually boarded the rocket. This footage could be fake, taken with body doubles after the incident or something. On second thought, that's too far-fetched, even for me. Never actually boarded the rocket. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe, just maybe. Huh? Prosecutor Blackwell, what if I told you that the two astronauts never set foot inside the launch pad area, but instead went into another place? And what if when the director moved launch pad 1 back, it was not from the launch site, but from another place? What would you say then?
Cut the existential bull or I'll cut you.
Mr. Wright, you will explain yourself at once.
I know I'm right. It was all the other way around from the beginning. Very well, Your Honor. Let me explain. Director Cosmos' reason for moving the launch pad 1 was... His reason for moving it was... to hide it? Or to switch to another place? Or to trap the true killer? Is there a chance he could have trapped the true killer? Had he done it right? Because that would have been smart. Maybe that's why he was happy about it, because he thought he was going to catch them. Let me try that. Because he wanted to trap the true killer.
Huh. Right, Dono. Need I remind you there was an explosion, and that the corridor between the launch pad and the lounge was thick with smoke. If the killer had been trapped in there, they would have been found as dead as their victim.
I guess you're right. Okay, so... okay, here's my penalty. Okay, I didn't really think of it that way. I don't agree with that penalty, though. Your Honor, please give me another chance. Okay. Well, let's just say he was trying to switch it to another place. Because he wanted to switch it with some other place.
I'm sorry, but did you just say switch it? But what could he possibly have switched the launch pad with?
Oh, you'd be surprised, Your Honor. All it takes is a little thinking outside the box, and the answer becomes clear as day. This is what was switched with Launchpad 1. I mean, it was obviously the Space Museum, because that was the other side, and they can apparently shift those rooms around at will. I don't know why that's the case, but let's just say it was the Space Museum.
Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum?
In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. It has all the same features as Launchpad 1 and can even be moved to the launch site, meaning the Space Museum and Launchpad 1 can also be switched with each other.
You can't mean...
Oh. The rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. It was the one in the Space Museum, motherfucker!
What?
Balderdash.
I mean, it's not a surprise that the whole museum thing became into play as like a decoy, as like a red herring. That's what I'm looking for. Anyway, and yet it's the only explanation that accounts for every riddle and inconsistency. This is how the Space Center was just before the incident.
I see Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already switched places.
That's right. And with the two switched, like this, the astronauts entered the Space Museum from Boarding Lounge 1. This allowed the True Killer to enter Launchpad 1 from the Boarding Lounge 2. Interesting. And set the bomb on the rocket. Okay. Come to think of it, the door to Space Museum from Boarding Lounge 2... Welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 to 7. Exactly. Anyone could pass through the door to the Space Museum. There's no fingerprint recognition system on that door. In other words, with the two launch pads switched like that, someone other than Mr. Starbuck could have easily planted the bomb. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's getting fucked now. After setting the bomb on the rocket, the culprit snuck into Boarding Lounge 1 and waited there, concealed, in order to kill Mr. Terran when the two astronauts emerged from the Space Museum. Recall that Ms. Blackwell, Mr. Starbuck, and the director all saw a suspicious figure, who we can suppose after killing Mr. Terran, made their escape into the Space Museum. After that, Director Cosmos switched the two launch pads back, without realizing the killer was inside the Space Museum. There you go. The killer then left the Space Museum and made a clean getaway. Nah!
Right, Dono. I see you know how to handle a sword and handle it well. Perhaps I should call you Swordmaster Bluff.
I'm a seasoned warrior who has cut down many a prosecutor.
Silence.
Uh-oh.
But unless you can prove your theory, it's no better than a rusty sword.
That's right. You have no proof I switched the launch pads?
Somebody needs a better anger management counselor. Counselor! If the launch pads really were switched, there might be a record of it somewhere. At this point, Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched with each other. So the corridor beyond the door should be the one that belongs to the Space Museum. Let's see. This is an image of the Launchpad 1 corridor. Uh-huh. Do you see anything different when we compare it to the security footage? Hold on. Taking a quick look. Huh? That number on the floor. Oh. It does say 1. Well, what do you know? It looks like we have proof after all, Prosecutor Blackwell.
And if this is just another bluff?
Oh, don't worry. It's all right here, homeboy. Right in this footage. Oh, there's a 2 there. Oh my god, there's a fucking 2 there. And I didn't even fucking... Oh my god, it's so obvious now. Jesus Christ, the little things, man. It's the little things. Right in this footage. Proof that beyond this door is the corridor to the Space Museum.
Very well then, answer this for me, if you would. What in this footage proves that the corridor belongs to the Space Museum?
I know, right? It's always the little things we don't notice. I was too busy being focused on this from last time. I didn't even think about the fact that this 2 is inconsistent with anything else, you know? There's a 1 on the floor of the Launchpad 1 corridor. But take a look at the floor of the corridor in the security footage. Do you see the number on the floor behind the astronauts? It doesn't look like a 1, does it? That's because what you see is actually part of a 2.
What?
Why is it a 2 and not a 1? That's because the corridor you see is the one to the Space Museum. Gah! Yeah, get fucked, boy! Ah! And so that means the corridor in this footage was not filled with smoke. That's right, because the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. The explosion occurred in the Launchpad 1, on the opposite side of the Space Museum. And now that we know the 2 astronauts escaped from the Space Museum, the mystery from the previous trial of how they got down the ladder is cleared up. They didn't have to get no damn ladder. Mr. Terran carrying Mr. Starbuck simply took the elevator from the upper level down to the middle level.
Just incredible. The 2 launch pads were actually switched. But you think someone would have noticed an event of this magnitude?
Everyone was down in the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped back. There's no way anyone could have known what was happening on the surface. Yeah, buddy. We in there. Ooh, also, thank you for the follow, Butterscotch Pecan. Appreciate it. Alright, it's all becoming much clearer now, baby. Much clearer. Bye-bye. No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time you told us the truth. Take that.
Ah! My honor, my glory, everything is slipping away. Time to deploy my ultimate weapon. Galactic engine, ignition. What? It's gone haywire. Ah! It won't stop. Go! My stars, my glory. Yeah! 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 No, not that way. Yeah!
See ya. So fucking silly.
Bailiff, on your steed and after that witness.
Get fucked, old man. But again, we've pretty much been confirming that he's not the killer, which is, you know, where I thought we were going to go. Because once he's the first suspect right away, it's like it's not going to be him who did the kill. But he clearly was doing some bullshit because he's just an idiot.
I see we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm.
Director Cosmos, do you admit you switched the launch pads?
Nah, I admit it's true. I switched Launchpad 1 for the Space Museum.
Ah, it is good to hear words I can believe for a change.
Before you do, Your Honor, 2 things. First, we don't know if Mr. Terran had prior knowledge of the switch. As for Mr. Starbuck, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Either way, Mr. Terran would have realized the instant he stepped into the Space Museum that it had been switched with Launchpad 1. So my first question is, if the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Terran feel the need to put on such a dramatic display? As for my second question, I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with.
Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. But I will say my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast.
The director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason for not wanting to explain why. Probably not a good time to try and pry it out of him, huh?
Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing.
I don't see why not. Bailiff, help the director retrieve his stars.
Okay.
It appears the possibility of a culprit other than defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbuck, is there anything you wish to say?
I don't get it, Your Honor.
Don't get it? What don't you get?
Director, why did you do all that, bro? From the very beginning, you never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us, bro!
Mr. Starbuck.
Starbuck, my boy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you the reason why, but I had to do it to protect the Space Center.
Director, bro, will I ever get the chance to go into space again?
Yeah, the girl on the far right. The girl on the far right. I'm just trying to look at her, give her a long look. See if there's anything that stands out about her. She definitely doesn't seem like she's... Well, I don't know what it seemed like. She definitely looks like she belongs in, like, case 2. You mean like she's young? Huh. Huh. I wonder, because we haven't seen her or heard of her, I wonder if she's who died 7 years ago and that's who Prosecutor Blackwell was accused of murdering. I wonder if that's the case. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway.
Yes, of course. I won't rest until it happens. I will get you into space again, my boy.
You're saying her hair ornament looks like it's in the same area? You mean Juniper's like hair? You mean like Juniper? She's too old to be Juniper in that picture, unless she's related to Juniper, which I guess is possible. Anyway.
Then the dream is still alive, bro! Hell yeah, dude!
Silence!
Uh-oh.
Silence, fool!
Oh, case 2 is the yokai case. Oh, sorry. I was thinking of Juniper. You're right, the yokai case. Sorry. So you're talking about what's her face? The crazy chick, who I'm blanking on her name. Damn, but if they connect that case to anything, that's going to be crazy. Also, what's up, Navast? Have you ever played Ace Attorney Investigations? I have not, actually. I have not played those games. I know they have a collection of them. Those are the Miles Edgeworth games, I believe, right? I have not played them, but maybe someday. Maybe someday. Not Juniper hair. You're just saying the hair ornament looks like it was from that part of the world. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Well, we'll find out. That girl will be important later, I'm sure. She's either the victim of what happened 7 years ago, or she's some other character we just haven't met yet. So, one or the other, we'll find out.
Huh. You're not going into space, Starbuck, but prison. I won't have it any other way.
Why are you so hung up on him?
Yes, I accept the launch pads really were switched. And if there were a third person at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. But I have yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum.
Oh, that's a good point.
Ah, he's right. I don't have any proof.
Starbuck, you will spill everything you know. What, bro? Me? Ah! Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now. If you don't, my blade shall feast on your blood. Ah! If I'm gonna die, I don't want to die in space. Or I'm gonna die. I want to die in space.
I have to do something.
Solomon Starbuck, prepare yourself.
Oh god, he's getting shocked again.
Ha 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 ha! Now, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackwell.
There it is.
Ugh, that annoying, cheerful laugh. It could be none other than...
It's Fulbright, duh.
Champion of Righteousness, Bobby Fulbright here. In justice we trust.
Detective Fulbright?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late.
I don't believe we had an appointment.
I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street.
Wow.
And then I had to break up a cat fight. A literal cat fight, not females, but cats fighting each other. I tell you, justice sure is a full-time job.
Was it a fight between cats, or... Why are you here again?
Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Fulbright. I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. But have you finally succumbed?
Nope, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment.
What evidence?
Come to think of it, he did say something about finding us some evidence. Yeah, I wonder what he got, man. What do you got that's gonna change this whole thing, my homie?
Thanks, you two. I feel a lot better now that I've been able to get on my chest. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you.
Yeah, let me know, homie. I didn't think he was serious, though. Sorry. So what is it, Detective? Is it something that will prove Mr. Starbuck innocent?
It is indeed.
Have a look at this. Oh, shit. It's the lighter, y'all. I was wondering if we were ever going to find that. It's even got blood on it. Interesting.
What's this? A lighter? That's right. A lighter thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. It has the victim Clay Terran's blood, along with his killer's fingerprints on it.
What?
What? Ah!
Oh, shit. Whose fingerprints are going to be on it, dog? Whose fingerprints? Whose? I bet you it's going to make shit even more confusing. Watch. Here it comes.
Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, can I assume that the fingerprints don't belong to the defendant? You bet! Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent.
This is it. This is just what I needed. Later, added to the quarterback. And before I keep going here, the reality is this game is set in Japan, not despite the localization saying otherwise. So you'll see a bunch of Japanese styling in terms of clothes. Yeah, I know we talked about that, Jalexter. We talked about how this is like they're trying to say that it's not Japan, but everything about this is Japan as fuck. Even the courtroom, like that's not what a U.S. courtroom looks like at all. I mean, I shouldn't say at all, but that's generally not what it looks like. And they also have a jury, which this does not have. But anyway, all right. Lighter added to the court record. Got it. Your Honor, this is decisive evidence that supports the defense's earlier claim.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
With pleasure, Your Honor. Recall where this lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate that after the killer murdered Mr. Terran. Alright. Anyway, so that woman having that style of clothes doesn't have to mean anything, Jalexter? Oh, yeah. Honestly, the way she was dressed didn't really mean anything to me. I know Omega was implying that it might. But in my head, I was just like, she doesn't look familiar. But she looks like she could be related to somebody. Who knows? But not necessarily somebody we know for sure just by looking at her. But again, because she's in that photo and we haven't heard anything of her yet, she's going to be important later. She is. She's the only one in that photo unaccounted for. But anyway, they escaped with the lighter in hand into the Space Museum, where they dropped it. The switching of the two launch pads occurred. Boop, boop, doop, boop, 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 doop, boop. Then finally, the killer left through the boarding lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbuck was found in boarding lounge 1 after the murder, a fact that Director Cosmos has testified to. Therefore, Mr. Starbuck couldn't have possibly been the one to drop the lighter there.
Silence!
Ooh, what you got, bitch?
But the defendant had free reign of the area until Director Cosmos appeared. Could he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during that span of time?
Objection!
You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? But Director Cosmos testified that right after he saw the mysterious figure with a lighter, he went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. In other words, Mr. Starbuck wouldn't have had the time to double back to the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, this lighter could only have been dropped by the real killer. Ugh. Most importantly, Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints were nowhere to be found on this lighter. I think you understand what this means, don't you? This piece of evidence unequivocally proves that Mr. Starbuck wasn't the culprit. Gah! Got him.
This does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defense's claims.
As for the remote switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, we can assume it was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck.
No, there must be some mistake.
Frankly, Prosecutor Blackwell, I've been worried about you. You've been chasing this phantom for seven whole years. I understand your urgency because tomorrow...
Silence.
Tomorrow? Oh, is it that statute of limitations bullshit? Remember when we had to deal with that back in the first game too? The SL9 or whatever incident it was? I forget what it's called. SL17, SL something. Anyway,
Fulbright, you promised never to speak of that.
DL6. I forgot what it was called. Thank you. Anyway. Huh? Tomorrow? What about tomorrow?
Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent. In light of the fact that it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. A few unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. But for now, this court finds the defendant Solomon Starbuck.
Hey, not guilty, baby. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go. Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Not guilty. Hell yeah. Is this actually over, though? This feels premature to me. Anyway, yes, we did it, Mr. Wright. Looks like we pulled it off somehow, huh? With some help from Detective Fulbright, of course. Mr. Wright, Miss Sykes, thank you, bros. And please thank Apollo for me, too. You are all the best. Ooh, I wish I could tell Apollo about Mr. Starbuck's verdict right now. Yeah, me too. But that's going to have to wait.
Now that a verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Hold it. It's not over.
Objection.
There it is. I was waiting for it. I was like, the case ain't solved yet. We ain't done with this. And he ain't going to let it go because apparently whatever he wants to look up and like redo is going to be a part of, you know, he's got to bring it up by tomorrow, basically. Anyway, IS-7 was the case that caused Von Karmer to get a penalty, which in turn led to the DL6 incident. And yes, these case numbers do get confusing. I didn't even remember IS-7, but I do remember DL6 because DL6 was like the whole first game, basically. Anyway, it's too late to object, isn't it?
It simply isn't possible. Something's wrong.
Prosecutor Blackwell, are you dissatisfied with the verdict?
Fulbright, what were the results of the fingerprint analysis for the lighter?
Huh? The results, you say? Ha 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 ha! Well, I was in a hurry, you see, and then there was that catfight, and, well...
Oh, my God.
I kinda got carried away when I heard the prints weren't Mr. Starbuck, so...
You have yet to read it?
Prosecutor Blackwell, can you read out who the prints belong to? Ooh, this is going to be fun. Also, what's up, Butterscotch Pecan? Thank you for that follow earlier, by the way. You think SL9 was also from the first game? The one with Lana and Emma, I think? So, the letters SL9 didn't just come from my ass? That's hilarious. SL9 was part of the case added to the DS remake. That's funny. That's hilarious. So, I didn't even play that game on the channel. I did that one on my own time. And I have played that DLC case. That's fucking funny. That's funny. That I had that number in my head even though I didn't remember that one. Because the DL6 incident is very obvious because it gets brought up a bunch in the first game. And even more after the first game too. It gets brought up. But the SL9 one, totally. Wow. That was in my head. That's funny. Anyway, can you read out who the prints belong to? Yes, I want to know, dude. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were found to belong to Athena Sykes? What?
That is not what I expected.
So says the report.
What?
What?
Huh?
Me? That's a nice little twist. I was not expecting that. Nice.
Order, I say, order! Ms. Sykes, tell me you have an explanation for this. We have finished proving that this lighter could only belong to the killer. So finding your prints on it can only lead us to one grave conclusion.
I don't know how they got on there, but I know I'm not the culprit. This can't be happening. We built up our argument piece by piece, and I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty. So how could it have led to this?
Lighter updated in the court record.
So it has Athena's prints on it? Wow, we're gonna have to do a lot more fucking research. Holy shit.
Gah! What have I done? Please forgive me! I'm sorry! Order, order! Detective Fulbright, stop your crying.
What in the world is happening here? It's like the world's gone mad.
Order, order! I will have order!
Turns out Athena's actually a villain the whole time. That'd be crazy, even though I already know that's not going to be the case. But that'd be crazy if it was. Confusion spiraled into utter chaos. After all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Somewhere, somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of a twisted darkness. Damn. Damn! And that is how the case ends. Okay. At least that's how this episode ends. I won't call it the case. Because this case ain't over, but the episode is. We basically got our defendant not guiltied, which is what we want, right? But now we're going to have to defend Athena. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, I see you, video game. I see how you is. I know, I didn't suspect that answer either. I'm not surprised Athena's going to be involved here in the end, but the fact that they're tying this whole case together into one long incident that happened, and it's basically spanned the entire game, from the first case to the fourth case to now I'm going to go into the fifth case. I'm calling them cases, but episodes. It's pretty cool. I like how they're telling the story, even more so as I get through this game. But yeah, anyway, that is a very nice little way to cliffhang us for the next case/episode. So next time on Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, or Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, whatever, we'll pick it up right here and jump into episode 5, where I guess we're going to start investigating some more, or I should say continue investigating some more, and try to get some reasons why Athena would even be connected to this at all, even though we already know she's involved. Like, she gave some subtle hints as to how she's like connected to the space station, but we didn't really. We're gonna have to take the 7 years ago case and start connecting dots there, along with whoever else was involved, and in the long run probably also exonerate Blackwell, Simon Blackwell, that is, while we're at it. Maybe his sister is the culprit all along. I mean, it's starting to seem like she's pretty shady, right? I'm sure we'll find out a lot more next time on this video game. So I will see you guys then. Peace!